Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to decode the 24-hour rhythm of the Forex market, and we're doing it specifically for all of you traders in Adelaide. We're going to look at the market like a global relay race, and trust me, by the end of this, you'll know exactly when to be ready on the starting block. You know that feeling, right? You're staring at your screen, and 1 minute it's completely dead quiet, and the next, bam, it just explodes with activity. It can feel so random, but I promise you there is a very predictable pulse to all of this madness. So here's the secret. The trick is to stop thinking of the Forex market as this one single giant thing. Instead, I want you to picture it as a non-stop, 24-hour global relay race where the baton of peak trading activity gets passed from one major city to the next. All right, so who are the runners in this big race? Let's get right to it and map out the entire day so you can see exactly when each one hits the track, all in your local time. Okay, here's the whole race schedule, all laid out for you in Adelaide time. So your day kicks off pretty calmly with the Sydney session at 7:30 a.m. This is when the Aussie and Kiwi dollars are the main players. Just an hour later, Tokyo jumps in, bringing the Japanese yen into the mix. But look what happens in your afternoon. At 4:30 p.m., London wakes up. This is a game changer. The volume on European currencies and gold really starts to ramp up. Then, the final and biggest runner, New York, joins the race at 9:30 p.m., driving the massive US and Canadian dollar markets. That evening slot, that's when things get really exciting. Now, before we get into the personalities of each session, there are a few ground rules that always apply, no matter who's running. First, it is one single connected market. Second, and this is crucial, the more people trading, the cheaper it is for you. We call this tighter spreads. Also, the opening and closing hours of each session are always magnets for action. And the best part, when two sessions overlap, that's what we call prime time. But here's the thing. Just like runners have their own style, each session has its own unique personality. So let's break down what makes them tick by looking at three key things: liquidity, volatility, and probably most important to you, your trading costs. So what's the magic ingredient that changes everything? It's liquidity. Basically, how many buyers and sellers are in the market at any given time. And as you can see from this chart, it's not constant. It starts off pretty low during the Asian session, gets a massive boost when London comes online, and then it just goes into overdrive during that London-New York overlap. That's between 9:30 p.m. and 1:30 a.m. your time. That is when the market is at its absolute deepest. And this is why you should care so much about liquidity. It hits your wallet directly. See, more liquidity means lower trading costs. Your spreads are going to be the tightest, the absolute cheapest during that London-New York overlap. They'll be a little bit wider during the quieter Asian session. And then you see that huge spike? You really want to watch out for that right around 6:30 in the morning during something we call the rollover. So what does this all mean for the feel of the market? Well, this difference in liquidity creates two completely different animals. The Asian session, your morning, tends to be much calmer. Prices often get stuck in a predictable range, just grinding back and forth. This is perfect for strategies where you're trying to buy near the bottom and sell near the top of that range. But once London and New York take the baton, the market has way more power. This is where you're likely to see those big, explosive breakouts and powerful trends. It's the ideal playground for momentum traders who just want to catch a wave and ride it. Okay, finally, you've got to know about the scheduled hot zones. Think of these as pre-planned fireworks shows. Around 10:25 in the morning, you might see a sudden jolt in yen pairs because of the Tokyo fix. Then right as you're finishing up your workday, you'll start to see European data hit the wires. But the main event, the real showstopper, is usually between 10 and 11:30 p.m. when major US and Canadian economic data comes out. Oh, and don't sleep on the 12:30 a.m. London fix. It's a very short but intense window where huge institutional orders get filled, and that can cause some really sharp, sudden moves. All right, enough theory. We've got the map. We know the personalities of each runner. Now, let's put it all together into an actual playbook so you can start trading with the market's natural rhythm, instead of constantly fighting against it. Here's how you can think about your day. Step 1, the Asian session in your morning. Focus on trading those ranges. Step 2, as London opens in your late afternoon, switch gears. Start looking for breakouts from the opening range because the market often shows its hand then. Step 3, the overlap in your evening. This is prime time, folks. This is when you hunt for those strong trends and momentum plays, but keep one eye on the clock for those big US data drops. And finally, step 4, as New York starts to wind down late at night, liquidity thins out, you might consider fading moves that have gone too far, but you have to be super cautious as you get closer and closer to that rollover period. And I really want to hammer this point home about rollover. It's the moment the global trading day officially clicks over to the next, right around 6:30 a.m. your time. For just a few minutes, liquidity practically vanishes. It dries up completely. And that means spreads can widen to crazy levels. It is a really dangerous time to have a tight stop loss or to be putting on a new trade. Just be careful. Okay, and one last really crucial tip to keep in your back pocket. All these times we've talked about, they're for standard time. When daylight saving time kicks in, either for us here in Adelaide or for them over in the UK and the US, these session times are going to shift by an hour. So always double check your calendar around autumn and spring to make sure you stay perfectly in sync. So, there you have it. The entire global relay race mapped out just for you in Adelaide. You have the schedule, you know the personalities, and you have a game plan. The only question left is, which leg of this race fits your style? Are you going to be the calm, cool Asian session range trader? Or are you the adrenaline junkie New York overlap trend follower? The choice is all yours.